What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Post to Post podcast. This week's episode is episode 52. My co-host Matthew and I are getting ready for the holidays. How you doing, Matt? Good?
I'm doing good.
You getting your Christmas shopping done?
No.
No, me either, dude. I'm just waiting on a paycheck that I don't think is coming.
Nope. Same here. Same here.
What is your favorite Christmas song?
Oh my God, that's a.
Is it Mariah Carey?
It's definitely not Mariah Carey.
I think we talked Mariah Carey last week and we said we hate that fucking song.
Might be Frosty the Snowman.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a classic. I like
Solid
Last
list.
Christmas by Wham.
Oh,
Wham's a good one. I like
Yep.
Wham.
Good move. Good move.
Yeah, bro. But we are ready to dive into some hockey this week. We had a small trade this week. Toronto traded Curtis Gabriel to Chicago for Chad Chris. Not Chris Chad. This guy has two first names, so don't get it mixed up. Curtis Gabriel also has two first names. He's a 6'6" enforcer that can get into the heads of a bunch of players. We've seen that a lot last season on San Jose. He played 11 games last season with the Sharks. Been up and down with the minor league team, the Barracuda, and with the Marlies. Chad Chris has yet to play in the NHL. He's currently playing for the Marlies. Toronto eventually needed to open up some cap space, right? And a trade like this should be one of a handful for this organization.
Yeah, we saw this coming. Well, not this trade specifically, but a trade something like this was coming for Toronto with those big signs: Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, Tavares. Those signs. They're gonna have to open up some cap space, and it is part one of a lot of parts coming for Toronto.
And, they have 2 or 3 games in hands on a lot of these teams in their division, but they are in first place, 18-8-2 record. They have 38 points, tied with Panthers and the Lightning. So it is working for them, but I do think they need to get away from, the big bruiser mentality. They do have Wayne Simmons, so Curtis Gabriel kind of seems like a little redundant having both of those guys on one team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe make some room for some more skill on the back end. So.
Right.
In other news this week, big news for Vegas. Jack Eichel is good to do everything but contact and should join the team in 3 weeks. So that's going to be awesome. Quick turnaround after sitting out for what seemed like a whole season with Buffalo at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should see him in action against either Colorado or LA if we're looking at the schedule.
That'll be good games for a little comeback. It's either a tough team like Colorado or a nice little easy team like LA.
I would agree, but LA put up a good fight the other day against Dallas, I believe. I think they snapped their win streak.
Yeah,
too,
you're right.
Right.
You're right. Yep.
Anyways, moving on too. We did see a lot of tough hockey this week. The Canadians.
No, you're thinking Vegas. It was Vegas, Dallas that snapped their win streak.
I think we'll have to check that one. I'm pretty sure it was LA. LA just beat someone that was a good contender, though. I can dive into that. We did have some tough hockey this week. Do you want to cover that while I check that out?
Yeah, sure. So Canadians' Alexander Romanov broke his nose during a play in Thursday's game versus the Avalanche. They went and got a cage for his face and finished the rest of the game. And then also this week, Seattle Kraken's coach Paul McFarland took a puck off the head and took it like a champ, and he stayed on the bench. Looks like you got to be tough both on and off the ice
Absolute
in hockey now.
Sicko, dude.
I love watching, you see, there's a photo of Paul McFarland, on the bench with, his forehead just bruised up, cut up. And
Guy
he's
doesn't
like,
give a
nope,
shit. I'm back.
I still got a job to do.
Okay, yeah, so you were right, though. Vegas snapped their streak on the 8th, but yesterday they played back-to-back nights. We're recording tonight for the listeners, December 10th. It's Friday. Last night, the Kings beat the Stars 4-0 after having their win streak snapped by the Golden Knights, so you are correct,
gotcha.
my friend.
Nice.
But, yeah, I don't know where that one came from for L.A., too. But hopefully they're
crazy
getting their
game,
shit
by the
together.
way.
Yeah, it was.
Dallas looked like they were just going to keep it going, and Vegas was like, no, we got this.
Yeah, I think Dallas was up 4-2 heading into 10 minutes left in the third, and Vegas came back and won 5-4.
Yep.
That was a crazy game. But yeah, moving right along too. You want to hit the next thing?
Yeah, let's does it here. So there's been an issue with jerseys as of late. It's been a thing for a while, but as of late, we keep seeing more and more jerseys getting thrown on the ice, and this is respectful news. So Penguins Dumoulin picked up a Vancouver Canucks jersey that was thrown onto the ice and tossed back into the stands. Normally you see this type of stuff coming from players of their own fans doing it, but this time it's Penguins player seeing a Vancouver jersey be like, all right, listen, we need to throw this back over the stands for you. I thought that was kind of more of a classy move, I guess.
I kind of think that it needs to be taken out of the game. It's the biggest overreaction there is, as a fan. Honestly, if you look at it, a regular season game in the middle of December, you're gonna throw your jersey on the ice. It's a little fucking absurd.
Yeah.
And it's not like Vancouver isn't trying to make the right moves. We're going to get into it more later, but they're trying to turn the ship around and get things going.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I never like to see a jersey thrown on the ice. The only situation where I understand it, I guess is what I would say, is the John Tavares situation. But I still don't agree with Islanders fans, like, hating John Tavares. Like, he's got to say whatever he can to stay on your good side for the time being. He's not going to be like, yeah, I'm looking to get out of here, because guess what? He's going to get booed by his home crowd like a Jake DeBrusk.
Right.
So at the time, he had to say what he had to say to keep people happy, and then when he left, fucking boo-hoo, beat it.
It was a thing for Edmonton for a while, because Edmonton was shit for a long time, and it was a thing for like a season or 2 seasons where I feel like it was like every other game or every game, there'd be some fan just pissed off throwing their jerseys on the ice. At one point, I thought I saw 2 jerseys getting thrown on the ice. I'm like, I don't know, just that shit's gonna get thrown out of the game, you know?
Yeah, the other part I'll touch on too is people burning jerseys and putting pictures of it up, like videos.
Oh yeah,
like, that's so dumb.
So
like
dumb.
If you ever think that you want to do that, just fucking go drop it off at like a shelter or some shit. Like, do something good with it. What good does burning a jersey do? Like, way to go, buddy.
Cool.
Nice.
Sick. Thanks. You still paid the money, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Reebok and Adidas really appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, you might as well take $200 and just fucking burn it in your front yard.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, bud.
Moving along, too, Ben Bishop on the Dallas Stars, jumping back to them. He's been sent down to the AHL for conditioning, and Dallas is evaluating the trade market for 35-year-old Anton Khudobin, who hasn't really had the best start this year.
No.
If Bishop does return, Dallas will have 4 goalies in Holtby, Jake Ottinger, Ben Bishop, and Anton Khudobin. They honestly have, like, the best setup for goaltending, but, I mean, you have all these assets. You definitely need to do something to move them. And surprisingly enough, like, maybe that carousel isn't working for you. 13-9-2. They're 7-3 in their last 10, which is good.
Yep.
Slow start to the beginning of the season, but I do think that there needs to be something shifted to open something up.
Right. I think Khudobin's been solid, but
Not this year.
this year.
But he has been.
And I think, given with everything that's going on in the NHL and with teams, I think they could sell high for Khudobin at this point.
So right now, there's actually like no interest in Khudobin. They put him on the block, and people are like, no. If the entire league decides like we don't want Khudobin, the Stars have no choice but to ship one of the other 3 good goalies. You know what I mean? And I think that's the hardball game that they're trying to play with them. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Because they're like, maybe like, no, we don't want Khudobin, but we'll take Ottinger, like a good prospect for the future.
Right.
Or like Holtby's kind of turned his game around. Bishop might need a change of pace. Like
Bishop might get injured again.
Yeah, like he always does.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the play that we're seeing. I think at the end of the day, we will see Khudobin move, but I don't know what they'll really get in return for him.
Yeah.
So.
I brought this up mainly because I don't know if you said it on the podcast or you just said it to me, where you're just like, where's Ben Bishop been? And it was a great question. No, he said it on the podcast, because I even said, yeah, he's been out injured, but it's kind of like a normal thing to say. And you're like, wait, how long has he been out? And literally this week, Dallas came out as like, yeah, he's back for conditioning. I was like, holy shit, ironic.
Yeah.
And it's Holtby, Khudobin, Jake Ottinger, Bishop. I mean,
it sounds really good on paper.
It sounds really good.
But then, like, you look at the season and you're like, wow, this is weird.
Okay, yeah. Ottinger is more up and coming, I guess.
Yeah, he's got time.
Yeah. Holtby, I think, solidified his spot as the starter for Dallas, I would say.
I think just Bishop's injury thing has been an issue, is really the only thing holding him back.
Right. So I'd be curious what Dallas does.
Yeah.
Especially if any team even was just like, yeah, okay, we'll give Khudobin a shot. But
yeah, and I mean, I think there's a lot of places he could fit in nicely, you know?
Yeah.
I could see him being...
Arizona?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I think Arizona needs other things to focus on before goaltending. I mean,
they have a lot of things to focus on. But yes, let's move on to... okay, never mind. I was going to say a better goalie, but you know, he's having issues here too. You want to do the Flyers, bud?
Yeah, so the Flyers and Carter Hart not looking so good. He's pulled after 5 goals on 15 shots against Tampa Bay this week. And after losing 8 straight, which has now been extended to a franchise record of 10 straight games, Alain Vigneault has been fired. Assistant coach Michel Therrien was also fired, and Mike Yeo will serve as the interim head coach. The Flyers are currently 7th in the Metropolitan Division and 24th in the league.
Yeah, and Carter Hart's 34th in the league as a goalie, and last year we were talking about Carter Hart having a rough season. He had a rough go, and Flyers are just like, dude, you're a future. We need to give you time and space. We need to figure things out, and yet again, he's having another season where it's just kind of going lanky for him. But I think it's going lanky for the entire organization. The entire team.
I messaged one of my buddies who's a big Flyers fan, and the first thing he said was like, we need to blow it up. And I was like, But I don't really think you do. Like, I don't understand. Like, the end of last season, the Flyers are close. Like, they've been close for like 5-10 years, right? Mm-hmm. They've made Eastern Conference Finals, I think, twice, or like one. No, they were one round away from the conference finals twice. Like, they could have made it. They could have been something. They're close. And then you see the dumb move last season of let's pick up the worst goaltender in the league in Martin Jones as the veteran guy to come in and almost back Carter Hart up and
maybe hold his hand or
help him out. Like. I've said it before with the Olmark talk that there's been 42 goalie transactions before the season even started. Like, why would the Flyers even think Martin Jones is the right idea?
Yeah.
And then for him to say, like, blow it up, like, that sucks. Like, that's not what we want to see, you know? Like, I think definitely, like, top down blow it up, but, like, the team, there's got to be something else we can do here. And then to top it all off, man, a Philadelphia police dog gets to come and check out the ice for some godforsaken reason. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. I thought it was a team dog. No. And the dog decides to take a shit at center ice on the logo. Like, so that's fucked up.
There's 3 policemen and 3 team police dogs, and someone was recording it in the stands, and they zoomed in perfectly. Like, perfect timing of the dog just, like, dead center of the logo on the ice, just, like, squatting and just taking a nice little dump on the ice.
Terrible
and you're
look.
Just like, well...
And Flyers fans have even resorted to changing their profile pictures on Twitter to a Flyers fan with a paper bag on his head. So, not looking too good. I kind of thought that they would turn it around, having Hayes and Yandel on the same team, nice locker room chemistry, things like that. But it's just sucks to see. And I guess next year don't pick the Flyers to make the playoffs, and maybe something will happen because I am fucking cursed.
Is there a team that's like? I feel like every episode we've been doing so far, I feel like there's no in-between. For the teams right now, the NHL, you are doing either really good or you are being, like, terrible this season. And I can't think of a team that's really in between right now.
I feel like the Blues, I wouldn't even say they're in the middle, though. They've kind of turned it around. They're getting there. Yeah. Like, they're one of the better teams in their division. Like, the Jets are kind of middle ground. And, I mean, I'm cheating. I'm looking at the fucking schedule, but... I mean, the standings. I think you're absolutely right, though. Like, there is, like, a dividing line of good and bad. You know?
And then for the standings, too, for the whole league, Minnesota fucking flew up to second.
Out of nowhere, too.
Out of nowhere.
They went on a heater. I think Kaprizov was, like, most points scored in the league but after this date until today or some shit like that. Some dumb stat. But he is hot right now. He's looking really good putting the team on his back.
Hot. Okay, I'll jump into this if you want. More sad news. We're going to jump back into the Vancouver Canucks after Dumoulin's probably the reason why Dumoulin had to pick up the jersey off the ice. So the Vancouver Canucks fire GM Jim Benning and head coach Travis Green. They have hired Bruce Boudreau as head coach. His resume has 14 seasons, 984 games, with a 567 to 302 record. He's had 10 playoff appearances with 43 and 47 record. Vancouver wins their first game under Boudreau versus LA 4-0. Jim Rutherford was hired as president of hockey operations for Vancouver and will also act as GM until he finds one. Ironically, too, Bruce Boudreau's first career NHL goal was against Jim Rutherford on March 2nd, 1977. It's all irony right now.
Yeah, it is kind of weird to see.
Yeah.
You don't usually see goalies as president of hockey ops too, so that's kind of cool. I think this is the right move. Boudreau has the track record, the resume, and hopefully things will go well for him. Do you know where he was coaching before this?
I can't remember. I'll look at you literally say the name Bruce Boudreau, and I have the face, and I have Washington Capitals right there too.
Yeah.
I think that's the last. Oh, was it?
And then what? He was just been out basically,
was it Minnesota?
Not coaching. Could have been, but it's interesting to see. Like, do they just pick these coaches up off of another team? They're just like, yeah, I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna go over these guys. Hilarious clip. Like the first week back of Boudreau, like in an interview, the hot mic there, and he's done with the interview. He's like, yep, all right, guys. He goes to get up, and old man status like me. He goes, oh fuck. So funny, dude. Classic. And I think you sent me another clip when he was coaching the Capitals of him just like F-bomb every other word in the locker room, just like. F this, F that, get it together, you're effing this. I'm like, oh, man, that's great.
I love watching it. It's just like, at the same time, Bruce, like, he's just sounds too nice of a guy, and as like a coach that needs to be strict at that time. Like it was like every other word was F-bomb, but like he was messing like words up too because he was trying to be
so
nice
flustered.
doing it. Yeah, he's just so flustered. We're just like, I'm sure the guys at the end of the whole speech was like, okay, let's go out there. Let's go have fun. He goes, you got one shot before you win, and let's just fucking go out there. Like,
yeah, it was kind of a crazy speech.
Go
I
on,
was like,
Bruce.
all right,
You got this, bud.
moving right along, we're staying north of the border here. Toronto versus Winnipeg. We had a little bloodbath the other night.
Oh.
Neil Pionk has now been suspended for 2 games for a knee hit on Rasmus Sandin. And in the same game, like almost immediately after, Jason Spezza suspended for 6 games for kneeing Neil Pionk in the face. Pionk had no stick. He laid down on the ice to try and like push the puck out of the zone with his hand. He does, but then Spezza just leans into him with like a shin pad to the face, dude. Terrible. The NHLPA has filed an appeal on behalf of Spezza on the suspension. And lastly, on this game, Wayne Simmons was fined $2,250 for cross-checking Jansen Harkins off one of the face-offs. So kind of a nuts game, kind of crazy.
That was old school hockey. That was one of those games where you say, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. It was one of those. We were watching the highlights before doing this just to have it fresh, and like it was just so funny because something would happen after the play going down to the other end, and like the play would stop, and you would just see every guy just like shit, here we go again.
Yeah.
Let's skate back to the other end.
Like shaking their head on the way down.
Like, God damn it, yeah, here we go again. But yeah, it's just. Here's a problem with those type of games, though. One, you love it as a fan to see all the fights and like all the action, but as a player, like the blood's flowing through you. You're just pissed off. You're not thinking. You get these knee to knees. You get the knees to the face. You get pissed off, and you get the Wayne Simmons cross check. Like it starts to get really dirty on both sides, and that's when we're talking about it on the podcast, and we're like, don't like this too much.
Fines and suspensions and shit.
Mm-hmm.
We got more bad news out of Toronto, too. Mitch Marner is now expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with a shoulder injury. In practice the other day, he was bumped by Jake Muzzin, and the injury is actually worse than they originally thought. So that's going to be a tough loss for the Maple Leafs, who are actually sitting at the top of their division right now, I believe.
I don't think it's going to affect them that much, but I'm sure they'll definitely miss him,
I mean, I think it will, like top 3 forward out of the lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 3 games in hand, and they're tied for first, so you could see them slip. I mean, it's only going to affect them down to 3. Ready for this one? The top 3 teams have 38 points.
Yep.
The 4th place team has 29.
Jesus.
So you're right. It's probably not going to affect them, and then that team is Detroit. That division is shit, man. Ready? So it's the top 3 of 38. Detroit and Boston have 29-28. And then after that, it's 19, 15, and 15 with Sabres, Canadians, and Senators. So I think they're pretty safe right now, but we'll see where the rest of it plays out,
Toronto's just going to ease through into the playoffs and then probably get knocked out first round.
Yeah. By who? Detroit, man? Like, if you think about it like that, like, these 5 teams at the bottom aren't looking so good. The Bruins are the only ones that are really, like, threatening right now.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
That division.
Kids are all right in Detroit, though. Detroit's starting to look good. Moritz Seider. And who's the other kid? There's one other young kid that's doing really well. I'll put you on the spot.
Seider and I can't remember his name.
They're doing really well.
They're doing really well. Yep.
Fuck, I'm mad that I can't remember that. Take it from here.
Too, yeah. Our boy, our big lad here, Tuukka Rask, was placed as an e-bug for Boston this Monday. Signs that he is coming back. Signs that we might be hearing more news about this later, about maybe a possible signage for Tuukka. Which makes this whole Allmark signing more and more dumb. The more and more this. Why
it doesn't though, because you want Swayman down the minors and to develop.
I don't know, but would you? All right, here's another to add to the Carter Hart and Martin Jones situation. Now you have Tuukka Rask, who's a veteran, one of the best veterans out there, with Swayman. You think Tuukka Rask be teaching Swayman like the ropes and shit, and like teaching him for the NHL?
Yeah, but you're not gonna pay another goalie $3 million to go play in the minors. Like, he's just gonna want to go play somewhere else. We didn't pay Ullmark $3 million to send him down and leave Swayman up. Swayman's going back down. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you got a good point. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they did the same shit to Tuukka before. Like, every time he came up, you're like, he's such a good goalie. Why? Like, they kept throwing him down to like mature. That might be what the fuck they do.
You know why he had to mature? Because he's fucking throwing milk crates on the ice. Guy was a lunatic. He got it together mentally, I guess, but he still collapses in big games. He just doesn't fucking throw shit. We're going to get into actually skate issues later.
I forgot about that.
We're going to get into skate issues later. Do you remember when he threw the fucking skate blade?
Yeah.
I think he threw it like towards the ref, basically at him.
Well,
too.
he was
nuts.
pissed because he let up a goal and because the skate blade popped out.
And he's mad that the ref didn't blow
Yeah,
the
he's
whistle.
like holding it. It's like,
the ref knows the rules.
Yeah, he's just like, it's not, you could.
Don't care.
Don't care. Do not give a shit. Yeah, so more information on Tuukka hopefully coming soon. I'll be curious what Boston does, but knowing that sound with Olmark, I have very, very little hopes with whatever decision they make.
Why? You want them to sign Tuukka, right?
I want them to sign Tuukka.
Well, there you go. They're going to sign Tuukka, and then Olmark's your backup, and now you're happy.
Okay.
No?
No, I want Olmark out. Fucking trade him. Get rid of him.
Jesus, dude.
Get rid of the whole team. I'm done.
Fire sale.
All right, moving on. We have the Seattle Kraken. They wore special jerseys in honor of Indigenous Peoples Night. The logo was created by local Carrick artist Fox Biz, whose focus has been reinterpreting Carrick basket art into modern-day mediums. The Carrick are one of the largest tribes in Cali, located in the upper northwest corner of the state. These are very nice. I love the style. I'll jump right into the next one, too, because the Vegas Golden Knights also had warm-up jerseys for the Hispanic Heritage Night, and both these jerseys just looked phenomenal. I loved the style.
I wasn't really into Seattle's, but I did think that it's awesome that they're really leaning into the indigenous tribes of the area with the salmon toss and now these jerseys. So it's cool for them to pay respects to that.
Yeah.
The Vegas Hispanic Heritage Night was awesome too. I don't know if you noticed, they actually changed the center ice logo as well. Like the backdrop behind the Vegas Golden Knights logo had like Hispanic, like artwork for it. Yeah, like that. Sick. But my favorite one, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago now, San Jose had awesome ones that were Hispanic Heritage Night, but they said Los Tiburones on it, which is Spanish for sharks, and I thought they were fucking sick.
Oh, shit.
Those were dope.
Oh, that's the post you sent me. Yeah, that's right.
Those were awesome. I think those were like 2019, 2018 time.
They do a hell of a job with those. I just love what they do with those warm-up jerseys. And some of them, just like the Vegas and the Seattle Kraken jerseys, like, why don't you wear them all game, man? Why does
That's
that
what I
just
think,
be
too.
warm-up,
I don't know if it's like a rule thing, like, here's your two, like, you have to have 2 jerseys, and here's your alternate.
Yeah.
But, like, I wish that they could use, like, the Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys in a game, or, like, the Military Appreciation Night jerseys, or the St. Patrick's Day ones.
And
like,
just wear them all game.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not really that hard to schedule around. Like, the away team's going to wear white, so, like, we're home, we're going to do what we want to, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
And I can't remember what organization it went to, but after the warm-ups, people can put in bids.
Yeah, they auction all those jerseys off.
Auction all those jerseys off, and the money for the Seattle Kraken Indigenous ones went to some Indigenous organization to raise money for them. So
that's pretty cool.
It was just all around great. It's just more. What's the word I'm thinking of here? Like bringing in, like accepting. So fucking weird, like of communities, opening up for communities into like the hockey world.
Diversity?
Yeah, I guess. It's going to hit me.
You're like, no, but I'll tell you, yeah.
You're going to be saying something like, I know what it is.
Yeah, do it, dude. If you think of it, I'm not going to fucking think of it. Shit.
And then also news, we also have Devin Dubnik, who signed a professional tryout with the Charlotte Checkers, which is the Carolina Hurricanes AHL team. They played 5 games for Colorado. He played 5 games for Colorado last year with a 3-2, 3.26 GAA, and .886 save percentage after being traded by San Jose last season, where he went 3-9. Doobie's been Doobie, man. Like, he's been around for a while. He's the Minnesota Wild big boy back in the day. I don't know if he's going to end up like another Craig Anderson in a sense.
It's so weird to see because you have Cam Talbot and Kaapo Kakkonen with the Wild right now, and you see how well they're doing, and then you look back and you think, hey, wait a minute, like Darcy Kemper played really well with the Wild, and hey, wait a minute, Devin Dubnik played really well with the Wild, and they've gone fucking nowhere, but like those 2 guys were studs, like all-star contending goalies, and you're kind of seeing the same thing in Minnesota now, and it's like, once they're out of there, what the fuck's going on? Like, why? This guy's going to have a tryout with an AHL team. Why?
Yeah, why
like,
all of a sudden?
If I could pick for the Bruins to have Ullmark or Dubnik, I'd pick Dubnik.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
because he just wasn't playing well for San Jose, and then went to Colorado, wasn't playing well. Like, for some reason, he just clicked with the Wild.
Who? I'm gonna put you on the spot again. But who were the two goalies in Colorado last season? It was Grubauer and
it was Philip Grubauer, Varlamov, right? And then
I think he was with the
Devin
Islanders
Dubnik.
last season.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was
But-
so it was Philip Grubauer and it was Devin Dubnik then.
I don't think so. He only played 5 games, so there was a third guy. But either way, like, I think that's the
trying to
issue.
think.
Was there's a guy that's better than Dubnik to play ahead of him behind
ahead of him.
Grubauer.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of
And
SOL.
now
and-
Grubauer was gone.
yeah. But now he's SOL to play with, like, try out for an AHL
Try
team just
it.
because of where he was stuck with Colorado.
Right.
So kind of interesting. I don't know. I just think it's weird.
And it just brought me back to the reason why I brought up Craig Anderson too is because he was a fucking stud for Ottawa, and now all of a sudden like he's got the professional tryout for the Montreal Canadiens during the whole COVID season. Remember that?
Wasn't it the Capitals?
Oh, it was the Capitals.
Capitals,
Sorry,
right?
it was
He ended
the
up getting
Capitals.
signed.
Yep.
But I think the difference there is age. Like, Devin Dubnik still has a lot of potential and a lot of ways to go.
Yeah.
Like, Anderson's game has slipped because of his age and you know,
Yeah.
time and playing for the Senators. But yeah, I totally see the comparison. I just think it's like one guy's stock could be going up and the other one's it's age. It's definitely going to go down, you know?
Right.
But we have some updates on my boy Trevor Ziegris. He has joined Matthew Barzal, Artemi Panarin, and Patrick Kane as the only rookies in the last 25 years to record multiple assists in 3 straight games, which is kind of surprising to me. Like, you would think that some other rookie would have done it by now. You know what I mean?
Right.
All 3 of those players, actually, Barzal, Panarin, and Kane, had gone on to win the Calder Cup their year. And Z has 6 goals, 15 assists this season already. And he had that fucking amazing lacrosse pass to Sonny Milano. He faked like he was going to do a Michigan man and just, like, tapped it over the net. And Milano actually really, really good hand-eye to bat that thing home. Buffalo, though, shit doesn't go right there. Like,
It doesn't go right at all.
if
there.
any team is going to get scored on by that, it's them. But then you see the replay of it where nobody is pressing Ziegris, which makes sense because he's behind the net. You kind of like give him a little space, but I think they must be on a power play. There's 4 Sabres guy, like not diamond style, but just in front of the net. One guy is like with Milano, but not tying his stick up, which allows him to bat it in. The other 3 just fucking watch. Just like stand there, mouth open, just like fucking Ziegris after he scored it. Like, bunch of seagulls.
What are you doing?
I
It brings me
don't
back to
get
that
it.
Instagram post I put up. I'm like, why are you guys still doing this shit?
Yeah.
Apparently, the
I
social
didn't
media
get it,
team
man.
hasn't checked out my post yet.
Yeah,
They're
no
like,
shit.
hey,
Maybe
hey.
tag him again. Good call. But yeah,
Tag.
I'm telling you, man, I think Ziegris for the Calder, and I'm going to put my money on, we're going to get to it later, Fox to repeat for the Norris,
I was actually going to bring out Fox, too.
which repeat doesn't happen too often.
No, not at all. Trevor Ziegris and the Ducks have been your boys this
Telling you,
season.
dude, next 10 years, they're getting a cup. I'll say it every episode until they do.
I want to write that down, too.
Yeah, do it.
Next
Set
10
an alarm
years.
in your phone for 10 years from now.
Not 2031.
I think it's going to happen.
Think so?
I think so. And I think so the reason I say that is because like look how they're set up. Like John Gibson is a really good fucking goalie. And they build from the back out. Like they got the future right there in front of them. I think another team to compare is Detroit. I think Detroit's in the same boat. Nedeljkovic, if he can like turn into like an actual stud in the NHL, that's another team that could probably get one in the next, I would say more closer to 15.
Yeah.
But I think those 2 teams are the youth's looking good there, so.
Okay, I'm with you.
No, you're not. You fucking hate it.
Want me to do this one?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
This is my boy right here.
This is your boy.
Oh my God, I was all over social media yesterday. I was the other night. I was whoa. My boy Marc-Andre Fleury, man, breaking records over here. Fleury played his 900th game this week, making him the 8th goalie in NHL history to reach that milestone. He also got his 500th win. The 500th win made him the 3rd goalie in NHL history to hit that milestone, right below Marty Boudreau with 691 and Patrick Waugh with 551. So if that's for the wins.
While you're there, do you think he'll hit 551 and pass it? That's probably going to be another 2 seasons, or a season and a half at least.
Might be another season and a half. And the whole post Vegas thing was iffy too, because you're like, Chicago somehow got him. And even in an interview, like, before he went to Chicago, he's like, do you want to keep playing? And he was, like, iffy on it.
Oh, yeah, because, that was the rumors that, like, he was like, oh, I might sit this season out.
Yeah, so I don't know what will happen. I guess we'll see post this season. But if he does sign with another team after this season, I could see him tying or maybe beating Patrick Waugh, maybe, putting Marty Boudreau and Marc-Andre Fleury, like, at the tops. But to put Marc-Andre Fleury in the list for games played, which was 900 or now over 900, you have Marty Boudreau with 1,266 games played, Roberto Luongo with 1,044, Patrick Waugh with 1,029, and then from there down you got Terry Sawchuk, Ed Belfour, Curtis Joseph, Glenn Hall, and Marc-Andre Fleury. So he's another player entering an elite group of players that I love it. I feel like every episode so far for the past, like, at least 5 or 6, man, we're talking about a player that's just, like, entering these, like, elite groups for some stat in the league. So I was so happy that Fleury got it. One thing I love, too, about this, too, that, one, it was a shutout for that 500th win. And so they won 2-0 in Canada versus Montreal versus the Canadiens. And I loved that at the end of the game, all the Canadiens fans, even though they were losing, having a rough season, they were all chanting Fleury, and at the end, giving him a standing ovation. And I absolutely love that. So much respect from the Canadiens fans. And I can't remember if I said this on the podcast last week. Yeah, I did say this on the podcast because we were talking about the which Canadian team would you want. Mm-hmm. And I was saying how when you go up there in your Bruins gear with, like, Toronto or Montreal, they give you shit. But, like, you love that. It's just like, you know, it just shows you how big of a fans they are, just for, like, hockey and stuff, like, just great people in general. And it really showed so much class, like, the Montreal Canadiens fans for doing that. Yeah,
that was awesome to see. It was really crazy to see him actually get a shutout with the Blackhawks against the Canadiens on the night of that win. That
was huge, yeah.
That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. I was just thinking about this in my head. Who do you think is the next, like, longest tenured goalie that's, like, up with those Hall of Famers? You know what I mean? Like, I would have said Lundqvist, but he's not in the league anymore. There's Fleury.
There's Holtby.
Holtby's
been in the league for a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't think he's, like, there. You know what I mean? He's not with Fleury and Lundqvist when it comes to, like, I'm not talking like great. I'm just talking like,
in the league
forever. Yeah. I'm thinking like a long tenured, like someone that has a good resume. Like,
do I want to say Tuukka Rask?
I don't think Tuukka Rask. That's what I was thinking too. Like, he's with Holtby in that same category.
Who's another goalie that's been here late? I feel like a bunch of goalies now. It's changed
like
so much.
Bobrovsky's probably that same area with Rask and Holtby. It's just weird.
There's gonna be a gap in between this. Like, I don't think right now.
Yeah, and then like 5 years from now, there'll be a bunch of them.
There'll be a bunch of them.
You think?
Yeah. But for me,
I think the reason for that gap is gonna be the 1A 1B that we've talked about, because it with Fleury and like even like Holtby, Rask and Bobrovsky, you initially saw like, here's your starter, here's your backup, and that's why Fleury's able to rack up all these wins. And then when it starts to transition to, you got Matt Murray behind you got this guy behind you kind of thing, we need to cut your games back.
Out.
Yeah, you know?
Oh, you know what? Maybe Connor Hellebuck. Connor Hellebuck plays 90% of the Winnipeg Jets games. They just keep
That's another guy
in.
that's like 5 years from now, though, right? Like a John Gibson, too.
Yeah.
I'd put him with the next 5 years.
Connor Hellebuck has shocked me. The more I look into him, dude, look up his stats for, like,
what about Quick?
Jets.
I bet Quick.
Maybe Quick.
Quick's the next one.
Quick's another one.
It sucks that LA has started to suck so bad because he probably could have been. I think he will be Hall of Fame as well with the cups that he won with LA. But like, it just he can't be as tenured as Fleury when the team isn't that good after the cups. You know,
it's like those post 2 Stanley Cups. The LA was just like, all right, let's not be as good anymore.
Yeah, and Crawford's gone. Like if you're thinking about like winning a bunch of cups, it was Crawford, Fleury, and Quick. Right? With the guys that won like a bunch of cups.
Yep.
So, yeah, just thought it was an interesting side piece to think about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. Good 1A, 1B, so just like even out everything. So like these, you're right. So these goalies are just like, you had like your main goalie and just like this. Okay,
the backup would be in when you're tired,
decent,
kind of thing.
Yeah, that you're just like, all right, we could blow this one, just fucking throw you out there. But you got a good point.
Kind of like Adam Huska coming up for the New York Rangers the other night. Did you see that game?
No,
I believe they got shelled. I think it was Colorado 6-2. Adam Huska had to get called up. I believe Fuck, I always get it mixed up. It's not Shesterkin, it's the other one. No, it is Shesterkin,
It is
isn't
Shesterkin.
it? Fucking Sorokin, Shesterkin, fucking
Sorokin is New York
Ilya and
Islanders,
Igor
and
and fucking Russia. So I think Shesterkin was injured. Georgiev was out for some reason. They called up this guy, Adam Huska, to play for the Rangers. It was good to see him get his first game, but it didn't go so well. 6-2 loss to the Colorado Avalanche, and the team actually left him in for the whole game. So it was tough to see that. But while we're talking Rangers,
I was going to say, perfect.
Yeah, you like that?
Yep, I love it.
They have 17 wins in their first 24 games, which is the most in franchise history. So, to start this, sorry, I fucking read that like shit. Through the first 24 games of the season, they've won 17, and that's the most in franchise history to start a season.
Right. Which is awesome, man. New York Rangers been around for how long? Original 6, right?
Anytime you see like a new franchise record set for these old teams, it's like, damn, that's really cool. And then I see something for like the Preds, and I'm like, that's sick, buddy. You've been around for like 30 years. I don't care.
Cool, yeah. Who cares?
But it's kind of like Rene and Koivu getting their numbers retired, like Minnesota. You know, it's you haven't really been around that long. So it's cool to see them get retired because they should. But it's like first guy to ever get retired. They're like, great.
Cool. Yeah.
But jumping into Adam Fox, he's in the lead for back-to-back Norris trophies. He has 27 points as a D-man. Victor Hedman is tied with him in Tampa with 27. Roman Josi and John Carlson both have 24, and Aaron Ekblad has 23. Pop quiz, what team is Roman Josi on?
Nashville Predators.
No, he got traded. Right, didn't he?
No.
Or am I wrong?
Roman Josi's on the Nashville Predators, but
Oh, fuck. I was trying to blow you up with that one.
it's sonked, bro. Look at you. Look at you Google that shit.
Checking it out. I
Yep.
thought he got traded, bro.
Here you are thinking you're smarter than me, and I would say 75 out of 100 times you're right, but not this time.
Why not 3 out of 4?
I don't know. Just trying to give out bigger numbers here to make you seem less inferior to me.
Well, here's an update for you. The Rangers franchise is now valued as hockey's first $2 billion team.
Whew.
How about that? Hit you with some fucking education.
Very
some fucking
educated.
facts.
Some numbers.
FAX facts.
Facts.
Give me that fax number, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we had some crazy news with Jacob Trouba on the New York Rangers, too. This was kind of wild. Like, past 3-4 nights, he's just been lighting people up. So Trouba had a big hit on Jujhar Khaira of Edmonton, and he actually had to be taken to the hospital on a stretcher. So this was really tough to see. It was a clean hit. It was a strong hit. It was scary to watch, but Khaira had his head down, breaking the puck out of the defensive zone, and the second he looked up, Trouba's shoulder was in his head. And before he even hit the ice, you could see he was out cold. He's laying on the ice, eyes rolling back into the back of his head. Fucking crazy to see.
That was another scary situation.
I hate
it was
to
like
see that shit.
Slow-mo's even worse.
Yeah.
You just because slow-mo's good in a way for you to see how everything came to be, and slow-mo for that hit was just like, okay, his head's down, and then like the hit happened, and he got him so good that like mid-air when he was falling back, he was just knocked out.
There was just like nothing he could do about it.
Nothing
man.
left, and he was like stiff as a board when he hit the ice, which I think means
Gross.
his body's just in shock, right?
Yeah, like his arms were locked up, like
just
vertical.
locked up,
Nuts.
and it wasn't like Jonathan Tavares where he just flops, but it was another. Yeah, it was a scary situation. You got both teams surrounding him on the ice, which means everything that all the players care about with each other. But it was rough to see.
And now the next night, it is New York Rangers versus Colorado. He nailed McKinnon with his head down in the defensive zone, and then Landeskog came to back him up, like kind of like a what the fuck, like I'm gonna like you don't hit my guy like that.
Yeah.
But it was the same situation as Khaira, but McKinnon didn't like obviously fucking like get KO'd. I think McKinnon did go off the ice to get his head checked out because it was very similar hits. It was nuts. And then tonight, Trouba had a really good hit on Skinner on Buffalo. This was in his own defensive end, Trouba's, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And Skinner goes to get back at Trouba, which is funny. He goes over and like starts shoving him and shit. And then as they skate like along the benches, Keandre Miller comes over and backs his boy up, puts Skinner over the bench a little bit. I think Reeves grabbed him and like it gets all rough and tough. Skinner gets pissed, complains to the ref, and like it was kind of funny actually when Skinner got pushed over the bench and he saw Reeves grabbing him. Like the second that was an option, he went.
I gotta go back to the bench.
He went right to his bench. I gotta change. But he gets pissed.
Reeves' face was
just
like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, he gets pissed and complains to the ref, and this is the funniest thing, dude, because he's yelling at the ref, swearing and shit, and the ref, you can hear it loud and clear, he said, "Fuck you." So the refs don't give a shit anymore, man. They'll fucking give it back.
Well,
we're picking it up left and
told
right.
him to go fuck off.
Yeah, nuts, dude.
So good, and it's so funny because the announcers are just like, "Oh, shouldn't
they-
be in this camera.
they
So
try and
they're
talk
trying to
over
talk
it.
over it, and he goes, "Oh, don't want to hear this."
Just doesn't end though.
But no, the ref was so fucking loud, dude. Like you can hear Skinner just like, that should have been a penalty, and I don't know what the ref said because he was talking, but I think he said, "I gave you." It must have been like, "I gave you one earlier," and then you could hear him say,
like that means anything.
like it means anything, and you can just hear the ref go, "Now fuck off," and just skates away.
Savage.
I love it. So good.
We got some social media scandal here that we're gonna cover real quick, and this is gonna be. We're going to lay it out there, and we are actually going to give our own opinions on it, I think, because we each feel a way about it, at least. I don't know about different or not. So Nashville Predators have had a social media issue, and you see online all the time, the social media accounts ribbing each other, doing shit, and fans interact, obviously, you know? So a fan tweets at the Nashville Predators. They must have tweeted something, and like the fan responded. He said, "It's got to suck for your city to be it's got to suck for your city's name to rhyme with Trashville." And Nashville tweets back, which I think is totally fine. Mm-hmm. I just know someone that lives in Detroit didn't say something. And social media went fucking crazy. Like, you can't say this. This is basically racist. Like, you should be canceled for this, for making fun of someone for living in poverty.
I got 2 examples of that. You want me to say that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so someone named Trev said... Oh, let me say it. Let me say what they said again. So someone named Trev said, "I just know someone that lives in Detroit and say something comes closest saying the N-word," which is fucking mind-boggling to me. And then you have Danielle at For the Bookish said, "Really, this is still a thing that's happening? Just say you're a racist and go." And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, Carolina's been doing this forever.
People want them to delete the tweet, but like if this said like, "I just know that someone that lives in Montreal didn't say something," like any other city, like I guess Chicago, if you're gonna pull the race card, like yeah, there's a heavily like, you know, minority population in those cities.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is a high poverty line there. But it's nothing to do with that. It's the fact that you're a Red Wings fan and you're from Detroit, so I'm going to shit on you for it because I'm in Nashville.
Right.
So I don't understand what the issue is. Nothing about this has to do with race or poverty or just anything outside of you're from Detroit, I'm from Nashville, and I'm going to shit on you because we're talking hockey.
Right.
It's just a fucking sport. Like,
yeah, it's okay for someone to come up and be like, Trashville, that rhymes with, Trashville rhymes with Nashville. And you expect them like not to say anything. I'm like, cool, dude, you're from fucking Detroit. Like,
yeah, I mean, I totally get the clapback, but like, I just
in no way, shape, or form
you just
is
like
racist.
You're just jumping to conclusions about it. It's literally like just read it for what it is. And that's the hard part about anything that's in writing. You don't actually understand what the person means by it. There's many ways to misconstrue something when it's written or over text, because if it's verbally said, you would totally understand that he's saying it's about hockey. It's about the Red Wings. And you should get that because the fucking account is the Nashville Predators account.
Right.
It's not about anything other than hockey.
Right.
And I just thought this was really dumb to see.
It was so dumb. And
they're trying to like cancel people for things that aren't to be canceled
to be canceled for.
I don't know.
They're just like, how is this tweet still up? I'm like, because it's not racist. That's why.
It's not about that.
Not about
you're making it about that by saying that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You're picking apart something and making it something else when it's not, you know?
And I feel like we are going to get canceled for fucking doing this, but it's like, I don't know. This is just our opinions on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we should just leave it because it is kind of controversial, and I get it, but it's like none of this was about that. And people make it about that, and now they're canceled.
Yeah, like one thing that kind of just got me too was the whole Danielle thing when she said, really, this is still a thing that's happening, just say racist ago. I'm like, we have done several things on racism in the hockey community. We just talked about Mark Carners and what he's gone through. That's actual racism.
Okay.
Why are we going to go with that?
Because she's not wrong. There's a ton of racism in the hockey community.
Oh, no, she's right. I'm just talking about
this specific thing.
This specific
has nothing
thing.
to do with that.
This has nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. Where's the social media presence for all the shit we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's our opinions, and
Don't cancel us for them.
I'm sticking my guns for that.
Don't cancel us for them. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm. Want to do this? What is this next one? Sweetness.
Kind of getting parched over here.
All right, you get another one. I'll do sweetness over here.
Me? Sweetness?
Yeah, you're. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say sweetness.
Thanks, buddy.
So where did I leave off? Here we go. So Louis Eriksson hits his 1,000 games played milestone. He's played for Dallas, Boston, Vancouver, and now Arizona. And the reason why I brought up Sweetness is because his nickname in, I think, Arizona is called Sweetness. He's got a cool little shirt I think the team made for him that's called Louis Sweetness Eriksson.
Why, though?
I fucking have no idea.
No, but you got to know.
I got to know.
If you don't know, like, why are we talking about it?
Because maybe he's a sweet guy. Maybe he's got sweet
Kidding.
hands.
I have no fucking idea
I have
either. It's
no
fucking
idea.
weird. I don't like that nickname too much.
It is what it is, But congratulations to him. Louis Eriksson, I can't believe he's been around for that long. I actually forgot he played for Boston. Because every time I hear Louis Eriksson, I do think I do have like a Vancouver Canucks logo image that pops in my head.
I go Dallas. I think Dallas before it.
Really?
Yeah.
Vancouver comes up. But yeah, congratulations to him. Oh, and let's do this one next. Arizona. Speaking about Arizona, they are in some heat, some trouble. Is that what we want to say?
Some hot water.
Some hot water. Okay, here we go.
They're going to jail for tax evasion.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is the last episode we're going to talk about.
Tax
Arizona.
evasion's a hard ass crime, bro. If you go to jail for tax evasion, you're the man.
You're done.
Henry David Thoreau shit, dude.
So, the Arizona Coyotes have until 5 p.m. on December 20th to pay the outstanding arena invoices and taxes from 2020-2021. If they don't, they will be locked out of Gia River Arena, which equals out to $1.3 million in unpaid taxes.
Which is kind of nuts when the team, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, was only valued at $400 million.
So the Coyotes statement, which was 2 days ago, said, "We have already launched an investigation to determine how this could have happened, and initial indications are that it appears to be the result of an unfortunate human error. Regardless, we deeply regret the inconvenience this has caused. We will make sure by tomorrow morning the Arizona Coyotes are current on all of the bills and taxes, and we will take immediate steps to ensure nothing like this happens again." They still haven't paid anything. So since they still haven't paid anything and they got locked out, here's another little bit of information for you guys.
They did get locked out?
No, if they get locked out, because they still haven't paid anything.
Yeah, they have until the
2
20th,
days ago,
right?
they were just like, by tomorrow morning, which was yesterday, we'll have it figured out, and they still haven't paid.
But they have till the 20th, right?
But they still have the 20th, yep. So if they do get, which I doubt, I don't know what Arizona's thinking, but if they do get locked out, they plan to build a new arena in Tempe, Arizona, but it won't be ready until at earliest 2025. So
those were the building plans we talked about earlier that were like too close to the airport kind of thing, and check it out.
Yep.
But that's pretty cool. So we talked about the time frame. Like, there's no way it's gonna be done by next season or the season after. So
no,
it's cool to see 4 years is like a an
actual
early
timeline. Yep.
But what do you think?
I don't know. Again, 2 days ago there's an investigation. I'm sure it takes a little while to get stuff like this done. 1.3 mil for a 400 mil team. I don't know. Is that a lot?
I mean, that's their like at the time valuation kind of thing. I think worst case scenario, if the 20th comes and they're like, shit, we don't have it, I think the NHL will bail them out and like, here's the money for the taxes and everything
Now
that
you
need.
owe us later.
Now you owe us, pay us
yeah.
later kind of thing. And if we move you, like, that kind of shit. Like, maybe the NHL ends up owning the team, which has happened before in the past.
Right.
Like, where the league actually owns a team.
I mean, we talked about this before too. I didn't put this in, but Gary Bettman talked and said in January of next year is when he's going to go up to Quebec and talk about bringing back we're assuming the Nordiques. And with that said, we're thinking...
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I don't really like it as an option. I want to see Arizona grow as a state. Like, you see products like Austin Matthews coming out of the desert, to play hockey. It's insane to think about. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like the market should be there. It's just not. I think Scottsdale isn't the best place in the world to have the arena. And I do still want to see the Nordiques come back, but I don't want to see 33 teams in the league. Like 32 is the max you should have.
32 is max, yeah.
And I forget who mentioned it. I think it was on NHL on the fly the other night. They had someone on. They were talking. They were like, if you think about how hard it is to make the playoffs now, there are 32 teams in the league, and it hasn't been updated with the number of teams that make the playoffs since there were 24. 16 out of 24 teams made playoffs then, and 16 out of 32 now make it. So you have now 6 more teams to compete with to just make those top 16 spots. Mm-hmm. And it's not always about the best 16 teams in the league. It's about your division and et cetera, et cetera. But I thought it was an interesting thing to think about too. But I don't really want to see the playoff style change, No. The only thing I kind of do want to see, I think maybe like if there's something else like a COVID year that comes up, like they could have tested out in the COVID year, do it bracket style, 1v16, 8v9 instead of 1v4 and then because I think that'd be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And then you'd see like crazy upsets, dude. Like the 16th best team in the NHL just beat the top team.
Right.
Like the Oilers just got bounced in the first round again. Wow. Wild. Who would have guessed that?
We switched this all up and they still lost. Nice, dude. Nice.
Flaming cities left and right, bro.
All right, so moving on, we got Carolina's Ian Cole was fined $5,000 for kneeing Winnipeg Mark Scheifele. Jacob Slavin and Teuvo Teravainen, the crazy saves against Calgary. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that was nuts, dude.
Shit.
So Frederik Andersen was kind of down and out on both of these, and Jacob Slavin, as I like to call him, coming back, blocks like a pass out front. It's going towards the net, and he slides, lays out the stick, and saves it. And then Teravainen is going to like the back corner and like reaches back with his stick on the backhand, like presses down on the puck and drags it off the goal line. It was wild, dude.
It's going to be an expensive steak dinner for Freddie Andersen. 2 plays he owes? Holy shit.
For sure, man, for sure.
He's just, on both plays, Freddie is like on the top of the crease and just like wide open, and both players are just like diving for it, but like, no, you got to get this out of here.
Yeah, nuts. The stick saves, too. It's crazy to see.
Oh, love it.
We also saw, we were going to dive into skate malfunctions earlier. Sebastian Aho lost his skate blade. It popped out on the ice with these new triggers that they have on these skates. You can basically like swap out your skate blade whenever you want, but it seems like these NHL shots can just fucking knock that thing off, it seems like. So Aho had it pop out, and he's literally got basically, like, for any of you guys that don't play hockey that just listen because you're a fan, if you don't have the blade and you have plastic, it's plastic boot and then the blade. Yeah. That blade comes out. You now have a plastic boot on the ice. You can't get any traction, any grip.
Yep.
And like, I've had a similar thing where we both adjusted to having the toe ties now, right?
Yep.
The elastic ones. Mm-hmm. When you had the skate lace, whenever that came undone and you stepped on it, dude, your skate just comes right out from under you and you like fucking pull your groin.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to push with that, it's the same feeling on that groin muscle. But anyways, he ends up just putting his broken skate leg down on the ice, like knee down, and using the right one to push himself to the bench. Like, great effort. But it's crazy to see that players are still deciding to use these in the NHL nowadays, because we talked earlier, Tuukka Rask has it happen. The ref doesn't blow the whistle. They get scored on. And he's like, my skate blade came out, and fucking throws it to the ref. But it's not on the referee. You chose that equipment. It malfunctioned, and that's on you.
That's on you. Yep.
And then the other goalie... Was it Darcy Kemper?
It's Darcy Kemper
on
or
Colorado?
Capo Kakinen. It was one of those.
It was Colorado, so it wasn't Kakinen.
Okay, so it was Darcy Kemper.
I think Kemper or one of the other guys had it. The same thing happened. Didn't get scored on, basically got the play to stop and went to the bench and adjusted it like in the whistle time, you know?
I think it's different, too, for the NHL players. These guys go through equipment left, especially skate blades left and right. So it must be easier for... them and the equipment managers maybe to just be like, all right, here's the trigger. Let me just fucking quickly, move this. Because before then, it was like these screws that, you need to...
They weren't even, hex heads, or they weren't, a screwdriver screw. It was like, you need a fucking specific tool.
It was, a specific tool for them.
It's absurd.
And with all the water and shit, if you, left it in your bag, or for these guys that just, kind of leave it around, they rusted. And to, having to,
There is a middle ground, though. There's a middle ground where they didn't rust, but they weren't trigger.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
I just think, if I'm Tuukka Rask, if I'm Sebastian Aho, or if I'm, let's call it Kemper for now, I would consider it. Now Tuukka Rask has gotten scored on, and Aho has put his team in a 5-on-4 situation because of this equipment and the way that it works kind of thing, you know? If your skate blade breaks or cracks, you can still at least get to the bench or make a play in net with a cracked skate blade. It's just now you have to get it fixed afterwards, you know?
Right. Like, it's happened before. Like, before we did this, I looked up I literally just went on YouTube to look up just, like, skate blades popping off NHL. And there's a 14-minute video of it, like, everything happening. Like, holy shit. But it's happened before then. Like, I think the first video was, like, Tim Thomas, 2011, like, back then, which they didn't have the trigger at the time. But now it's happened so frequently.
That's
now.
the thing.
So like it's been happening, but now it's so frequent now with the trigger finger or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe
I also think in general they don't make things like they used to. Like, it sounds like such an old man thing to say, but like I think that there was like a certain dipping point where like we had like 80s, 90s, like very high quality things, and this is the going rate to have something nice that'll last you a while.
right.
And then like companies got towards like, let's make it much cheaper and make it good enough to last. But as a company, we don't look like scumbags, but this is going to last 5-10 years at most, and then it's going to snap, and you have to buy another one. So you've now paid twice as much and had two of them to cover the same thing as the old shit. You know what I mean? So that's just my old man mentality on things.
No, I think you're right.
I feel like I see that.
Because why would a company charge you something for a decent price that will last you forever when it's just like their mentality is just like, well, we want this customer back. Let's make something like really good, but also probably won't last forever.
And know what I love, but also doesn't entirely make sense to me is lifetime warranties. LL Bean, their bags, like their backpacks,
Unreal.
They're a hiking company, and if anything goes wrong with it, even if it's just like beat up, beat to shit, dirty, dusty, like whatever, you could have brought it back to them, and they would give you a brand new one for free. Like, here's the same model, but here you go.
You don't need a receipt. You don't need nothing.
You have our bag.
I had an old bag from like my middle school time when my mom got me an LL Bean bag, and literally when I first started work back in 2012, 2013, I think around 2015 actually, someone I worked with was telling me about it, and there's one in Denham.
Yeah, that's the store.
And I took it and brought them like, hey, do you guys redo LL Bean books, LL Bean bags? And so I showed him, and he just took it from me. He goes, I can give you a brand new one, or we can fix this. And I got a brand new LL Bean bag.
So they recently did away with it. Like, I think companies came out with it initially and were like, I don't really understand the idea behind it. Like, why would I think, if anything's wrong with this, I'll just give you another one for free. So that's the same guy can come in and get 4 of them for the price of one. But like, now they've done away with it, which kind of makes sense. It's like, this isn't profitable to do. Why would we do that?
Right.
But any company that does that, it's like super like respectable. I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. There was a sunglass company, I forget what brand it was, but sunglasses, like, that's like the best thing to do. But the only issue is, like, for me at least, sunglasses not stolen, but lost or stolen is typically like how sunglasses are lost. You know what I mean? So it's like, you kind of SOL if you can't bring me the pair.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So,
exactly.
I don't know. That was a wild tangent we just went on, but how about that? How about some LL
we
Bean
talked about
sunglasses
and LL Beans on a hockey podcast. You look, content right there, buddy.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Rambling, dude. Just had like...
It was good, though.
Yeah.
We went from skate malfunction.
Relatable.
How the fuck do we go from skate malfunction to LL Bean and sunglasses?
Yeah, man.
We're good. That's how good we are.
Old man mentality.
Yep. I wanted to move this, but apparently not.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Skip it.
All right, we'll skip it. So Edmonton's Chris Russell was given. Oh, sorry, you were moving that. Edmonton's Chris Russell was given the first ever pair of silver-plated shin pads and plaque, gifted to him by teammates for reaching 2,000 block shots, which is an NHL record that we talked about last week. This thing is cool as shit. I'm going to put an image down here. It's like a plaque and then silver-plated shin pads. And I love the comments when this came out. It's just like, should have a like silver-plated like cup or like something like that for the balls he needs to do all that. Which is ironic for what you said when we talked about
someone commented that?
Yeah, someone commented
No way,
that.
that's
like,
hilarious.
No shit.
When you sent me that, I was like, bro, it should be a
that.
fucking silver-plated cup. Fucking balls he has to block 2,000 NHL shots. Sicko mode.
Love that thing. And it's cool as shit that the whole team came together and like made him that. It's really cool. I don't think you could see it on the photo I'm going to have down here, but it says by team that he's played with, how many block shots he's had per team, which I thought was really cool. I love how they did that.
Honestly, bro, like, I respect him enough that I would buy an Edmonton Russell jersey.
Oh, in a
because
heartbeat.
that's like your defenseman. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it like that, like as a goalie, it's like that's my guy. You know what I mean?
I get
dude's
this guy
fucking
steak dinners
laying it
every
out.
night.
Yeah, nuts, dude. So that was awesome to see. You see Silver Sticks giving out a lot for the 1,000 games played mark for players.
Yeah.
It's really unique to see a pair of shin pads.
Shin
I thought they
pads.
were sharp looking, really nice, like sick individual trophy to keep in your house that like no one else in the world.
No one else in the world has.
Yeah,
No one.
nuts.
Yeah, the first ever.
Pretty cool call-up situation here for St. Louis, too. Nathan Walker, an emergency call-up for St. Louis with all the COVID shit they have going on there. He gets called up to the roster and gets a fucking hat trick against Detroit.
Hattie, buddy.
The third one was sick, too. The tip that he had,
Yeah.
unreal, dude.
Unreal. He was an absolute beast in this game. I don't know if he just, like, emergency call-up, maybe... I'm trying to think of the mentality for that, too. It's like...
What did the announcer keep saying? He scored the first one. I think he said, "Holy jumping."
Yeah,
Was that what he said?
holy jumping.
That was like his thing, and he said it every time he scored.
The St. Louis Blues announcers always says "holy jumping."
No
like
way. I
it's
never
their
noticed
thing.
that.
Yep.
That's such a weird thing to say.
But yeah, Nathan Walker came in just absolutely ready to go. Again, that third goal, hat trick tip was something special.
Dude, I like the first name Nathan a lot. And the last name Walker is kind of sick, dude.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Walker, like that's a nice last name. That's cool.
Love it compared to alcohol. Love it.
I mean, what else is it? When you hear Walker, you think Johnny, no?
Yeah, you got a good point.
There you go.
We're
Or Walker,
alcoholics.
Texas Ranger. That's the other thing, right? That's about it.
That's about it. About as far we go. Well, Walking Dead.
Walker, though. They call them
call them
Walkers?
Walkers,
I don't
yeah.
watch that shit. Dude, I watched the first season. All right, we're going to go on a tangent again
No,
here.
we're not going on tangent anymore because I'm going to go on a tangent of how I made it to like season 7 and it was like, fuck this show.
Okay.
Fuck you for wasting my time. No, I'm not going on a tangent right now. I can't.
That's what I thought. All right, we'll leave it. But that's what I thought after season 1. I was like, this is a waste of time.
No, I
Anyways.
loved it all the way up to like 5, 6, and after that, I'm like, what are you doing? All right, no more tangents. No, we're moving on. No, can't do it anymore. So, no, we'll skip the Ovechkin Crosby debate because I want to get more information on that. Maybe talk about it next episode. Is that all right?
No, we got to do that. We'll do that.
Okay.
Do the Subban thing first. So Malcolm Subban got his first game as a Sabre. He ended up losing 6-2 versus Carolina, which is classic Malcolm Subban fashion. This guy sucks. First round draft pick. Dude, the only 2 goalies to ever be drafted in the first round, like since Subban got drafted, is him and Spencer Knight. So there's fucking like night and day for you kind of thing. But,
Literally,
like what?
night and day.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Love it.
K-N-I-G-C.
Right here.
Love it, bro.
Yep.
I thought you meant like night and day, like Subban's stats are so bad and his are so good. 'Cause
Nope.
That's the other part of it, too. Nuts, though. Like 2 fucking first-round picks. But I just think, like, why did the Sabres pick him up to play him? You have 2 goalies, man. Like Anderson, right?
Yep.
Like, just send him to the minors. Give him some more time. Nothing is going to help Subban more than the minors. Like, it's been so long now that, like, dude, there's no other option. Like, you got to stay in the minors and get it together, dude. Like, fucking A. We didn't trade for you to play you. We traded for you so you could go to the minors, buddy.
Yeah.
That's my thought process. I don't know. He hasn't been a great goalie. Any opinions?
So one of our fans here, Alex, was telling me that right before he got traded, he was almost able to meet Malcolm Subban, and he was pumped about it, which makes sense. But we were just talking. When we were talking, I was just like, listen, he needs to. For Malcolm Subban, I think with the name Subban, they just threw after he got drafted, he got thrown in here in the NHL.
Well, the other
You know?
aspect of it is he's so highly touted, and then you get taken in the first round. That is so much pressure. And then you think about the 2 most like high pressure positions in sports. It's
Goalie.
number 1, football quarterback, and number 2 is hockey goalie.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's
and
unreal.
Now it's your first round pick, and like you've been talked about since you were fucking like 13. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nuts.
So I think for Subban, I know we're shitting on him, but at the same time, I think for a team that really wants him to grow, I think they should send him down to the AHL, let him grow there, let him get his time there, and then every
Dude,
so often
he got
bring him up.
rattled.
you know?
It was like the first 4 or 5 games he played, he let up like 30 goals.
It's
man.
this type of shit though for these goalies that they're just not
It breaks them,
ready
man.
for it.
Yeah.
That breaks them, and then all of a sudden they're out of the NHL. They're
Buried.
just buried in some AHL OHL team, and
But
that's it.
like this guy Nathan Walker that gets called up, scores a hat trick his first game. Now his stock's through the roof, they're not going to like send him back down, or they sell high on him to another team kind of thing. Like that's how this thing goes, and it kind of sucks to see, but like they're just fucking cogs in the machine.
Right, exactly.
So let's dive into the Ovechkin Crosby debate we've been putting off for about 3 weeks. So I am going to rattle off right here Ovechkin versus Crosby careers. So Sportsnet posted, would you rather have Ovechkin's career or Crosby's career? And now, when I look at this isn't the question that I'm looking to answer between the two of us. I would rather see who do you think is the better NHL player?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just going to leave it at that, interpret it as you will kind of thing, all right?
I got Sidney Crosby if you want to do Ovechkin.
All right, perfect. So here's Ovechkin's career, right? 1 Stanley Cup, 3 Hart trophies, 9 Rocket Richards, a Conn Smythe, an Art Ross, an 05-06 Calder Trophy, which is the AHL's like championship. 8 times first NHL All-Star team, 4 times second NHL All-Star team, 05-06 All-Rookie team, a 3 times Lester B. Pearson Award, which I have no fucking clue what that is. He has 1,223 games played, 750 goals, 611 assists, and 1,361 points.
All right, fans. Take that all in. Now I want to tell you Sidney Crosby's. Sidney Crosby's career so far, he's got 3 Stanley Cups, 2 Hart trophies, 2 Conn Smythe trophies, 2 Art Ross trophies, 2 Rocket Richard trophies, 3 Lester P. Pearson Awards.
Still don't know what
the hell that is. 3 first NHL All-Star teams, 4 second NHL All-Star teams, 2005-2006 All-Star Rookie Team, 1-time Marc Messier Leadership Award. He's played 1,052 games, 490 goals, 848 assists, and 1,338 points. So compare that to Ovechkin. If you wanted to compare stats, I think Ovechkin, besides the Stanley Cup, is the obvious choice in my mind. But if you want to go all-around player...
I'm going to need you to repeat that, actually. I'm sorry. I was reading about the...
I know. I was looking at your face.
I know. I'm sorry. So the Lester B. Pearson Award is now known as the Ted Lindsay Award, which I have heard more often.
Oh, yeah. Ted Lindsay Award. Okay.
It's awarded annually to the NHL's most outstanding player in the regular season.
Yeah. There we go.
That's funny. Ted Lindsay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Lester B. Pearson, motherfucker. Who the fuck's that? All right. Repeat what you just said.
So I said if you want to compare stats like this, I feel like Ovechkin is definitely the guy to go to, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to go all-around player, I would say this season, especially in general, Ovechkin is still the guy to go to.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I would say if you're looking at these stats that we just rattled off, I would rather be Crosby because he has 3 cups, and that's the most important thing you can do is raise the cup.
Mm-hmm.
Ovi's only done it once.
Right.
And then when I look at like number-wise, they have almost the exact same points, which is wild to me. 1361 versus 1338, Ovechkin over Crosby. But look at the games played.
I want to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Not one player cannot win the cup. It's got to be an entire team.
Yeah.
Right?
So
the Pittsburgh Penguins for a while were a franchise. Marc-Andre Fleury, you had Sidney Crosby, you had Letang.
yeah, exactly. Ovechkin has had no help.
No help at all.
And has still put up the same numbers as Crosby. But the next stat I was going to get to, they have almost the same amount of points. Crosby has almost 200 less games played than Ovechkin, but also has a little more than half as many goals. So, like, Crosby's more of the assist guy, played less games, and still has almost the same amount of points.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Ovi's like the more pure goal scorer in this regard.
Right.
At the end of the day, I still say Ovechkin because he's like the guy that gets the job done. Whereas Crosby is like the build-around guy. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't necessarily need a Malkin to put the puck in the net.
No.
But the assist that he has, he needs someone to put the puck in the net. It doesn't matter who you put him on.
No.
You can put him on the 4th line of the Penguins and like just
he'll go
build up ahead of it. Yeah, exactly. And get guys points. I think at the end of the day, who's the better player?
I still say Alex Ovechkin.
I think so too. But like it just stinks to see that the resume of Crosby blows Ovi's out of the water, dude.
Yeah.
Just having 3 cups in general, it's like your 1 cup doesn't fucking matter, buddy. Like I have 3. That's nuts.
Right.
You know? You don't see anyone that has 3 fucking cups anymore.
No, you don't. They're a fucking dynasty. Penguins for a while.
They were, yeah.
That's when Matt Murray was on fire. You had Fleury. You had I could name you fucking like everyone on the team. They just had the team, whereas Washington, they didn't really have the team.
They kind of like 2011 Bruins their way there with Holtby.
Yeah.
Holtby was on a heat stick.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So kind of nuts. I'm glad we didn't put that off for another week. There is one more page of Ovechkin too.
Okay.
Let me see. I just resent it to us. Alexander Ovechkin, he is the second fastest in NHL history to reach 750 goals, behind Brett Hull, who took 741 games to reach 750 goals.
Unreal.
Oh, no. No, I did that so wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know how to read this. I can't read. Sorry, too many beers. Anyways, second fastest to reach 750 goals. What a fucking hero. Love this guy.
I love it.
This guy's a fucking sicko.
Just absolutely love it right here.
Cool.
All right, so we got 2 things left.
3 things left.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We
The salary cap for next season. This is big fucking news, like mind-blowing news for the NHL.
Mind-blowing news. They might be able to sign one more player.
Increased
Hold
from
on. Wait for it.
$82.5 million
Okay.
to $83.5 million.
Holy
$1 million increase next year. That's another league minimum sign on the books, baby.
Woo!
Let's go.
Get it, baby. Might be $750K.
Sick.
Some player save some money right there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Put Chara on your roster for free now, buddy.
Oh my God, teams are gonna be fucking flying with this $1 million right here.
The Leafs are still kind of SOL. And Tampa's about 16 mil over that.
Love this news. Yeah, Toronto's still not having a good time right now. By the way, I don't know. $1 million? Wow, that's a lot of money right there.
There we go, baby. It's a lot of money.
A lot of money for us.
It's fucking 10 years salary for both of us.
I'll take that if you want to give us a
20 years
$1 million
salary, bro. Fuck. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a lot of money.
So to go back onto the Malcolm Subban conversation, I'm somewhat of a kind of getting back into wrestling, I guess, because of YouTube. They're just like, here's some stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch it, and
Jesus.
I'm riddling me into
That's
it.
the last thing I do. Listeners out there, I want a survey. If YouTube's like, here's some stuff, do you watch it or do you not watch it? Because I don't watch it, dude. The shit you have on here before we like watch, I'm like, what the fuck are we watching right now?
One, for the listeners, I don't have cable. I got rid of it altogether. YouTube, I like grew up on that shit. So I'm just like YouTube and hockey, and that's it. Anyway, CM Punk on AEW calling out the fans of New York Islanders. He goes, Chicago was so much louder as the crowd boos him. That's all you got? Somebody called Barry Trotz. I figured out why the Islanders have yet to win a game in this building, which is hysterical, by the way. The Islanders are 0-7 at UBS Arena, which
Fucking
made
insane.
that hilarious.
I'll cover that next week.
Okay, so CM Punk is from Chicago. He came back to wrestling after I think 6-7 years after leaving the WWE. And so when he came back to AEW in Chicago, it was the massive blow up, man. In I would say wrestling history, the Chicago arena was fucking shaking. But I don't know why here he was a bad guy. So this doesn't make sense to me why they're booing the
wrestling, bro.
shit out of him.
Wrestling's whack.
But that's just to explain why they're booing him. I don't know why.
It is
People
pretty
love
funny.
him.
The New York Islanders, if you're going to try to be the heel, on Long Island, that's really all you can do.
Yeah, just
Other than just shit on the
Islanders.
New York accent.
They're
what else are you going to shit on?
Cool, we
Maybe
shit
the
on
Mets.
him anyway.
Maybe
Yeah.
the Mets, but everyone knows the Mets suck. You know what I mean?
You're just saying shit we already know. All right, so you want to do this next one?
Yeah, so there was a sick Zdeno Chara and Trennan fight in the New York Islanders Nashville game. Trennan had a big hit on, actually, New York Islanders player Sebastian Aho, which I remembered after we Googled it, but I was like, dude, who is the Aho player? I completely forgot. And they both have the same fucking name. There's a Sebastian Aho on New York Islanders and Carolina Hurricanes. So it'd be interesting to see them on the same team because, we were talking about, what would they do? Because usually, if they have the same last name, you just do first initial, but they have the same first initial. So
Eric
and the
Stahl
same first whole name.
Yeah.
So it's do you do middle initial and hope they have, different middle names?
Different middle names?
But this fight was wild, dude. Trennan actually got his jersey pulled over his head, turtled. Not grab the back of the jersey over the head. It was just his head was stuck inside of his jersey. And Chara just fucking clobbered him, went to town where he thought his face was. And then eventually the refs separate, break it up. Chara's yelling at him about the hit probably. And then as he's getting off the ice, He pulls the jersey down over his head, and there's just blood pouring. It's like,
everywhere.
oh man, he got fucking
Chara got him
clobbered.
good for an old guy, man. Chara fucking leaned
Dude,
into him.
they did a sports science on it, like with the reach that Zdeno Chara has, the muscle mass, everything about him statistically. Just like if he cocks back all the way and comes across with it, like if he connects on like the absolute haymaker that he can throw, he could like literally kill someone, which is nuts. Just because of like honestly the reach that he has. Like they say your height divided by 2 is your like your reach with your arm. That's like fucking. He's 6'9", so that's like 3 3/4, something like that feet. I don't know, some shit like that. But I'm like, dude, that's fucking wild. He could just kill someone if he wanted to. He just doesn't. Just holds back. That's how I look at it. Like he gets in a fight and he's like, all right, we gotta throw these half punches. I can't really fucking unload.
Really kill you right now.
Imagine, dude. Imagine if you just laying dudes out on stretchers every night.
Did I ever tell you how he came out and said how he trained? His father used to take like this big pole and put it in like a bucket of cement.
Dude, checks are wild.
Then he used to just literally swing a pole with a bucket of cement, and like that was his training.
I've never heard that. I knew that he rode his bike to the arena every day when he was on the Bruins.
Really?
Isn't that nuts? He lived in like North End and would ride his bike all the way there.
That's not
for
that
like
bad.
cardio. No, it's pretty far. Like I wouldn't fucking do
What
it.
part of the North End?
Far, but it's Chara,
far
so he's
in?
like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, one stride and he goes fucking 20 miles.
I had a buddy that was very high up with karate or like martial arts, some shit like that. And one of the training methods he had was literally a stick like this, a fucking rope, and a bag of sand. And his training method was this: hold it in front of him, roll the bag up, and roll the bag down, and just keep doing it. And his forearms are fucking rock solid.
I'm sure his core too, because when you hold it.
Yeah, dude, wild.
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, Char's a sicko, dude. Still fucking beating fools at pull-ups and nonsense. I wish I could pull my fat ass up once.
Hey,
You
did
can't even pull my fat
gym.
ass out of me
You did enter the gym though.
I did. I was actually there at 5:30 a.m. the last couple weeks.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
You randomly texted me like, me and my friend Joe go to the same gym. We're just like, hey, what did you say? He goes,
Like, what time you guys go there?
What time you guys go there? Like, why do you care? He goes, because I go there now. I'm like, okay,
I go
cool.
there now.
Like,
I wish I said that. That's a hard-o move. Why do you care? I go there now. No, but yeah, I've been going at like 5:30 a.m. It's actually a lot busier than I expected. There's like 25 people in there at 5:30.
Oh,
like,
wow,
dude, that's kind of a
interesting.
lot.
That's a lot of
Like,
people.
fucking
Probably like
hardos.
pre-work.
Lot
You get
of
a lot of
hardos.
nurses?
I don't know.
When I go...
What? Do you want me to take a survey? What
I
the
don't
fuck
know,
would you ask that? I've been at the gym for 2 weeks. Are they a lot of nurses that showed up in scrubs working out, bro? Like
I see a lot of nurses, yeah.
what,
where I
in
go.
scrubs?
Yeah, they come
Oh,
in
like, 'cause
scrubs
they
and get
change.
changed, yeah.
I don't watch people get changed. I'm not a weirdo.
What? What do you think I... Moving on. Jesus.
That's hilarious, bro. Bro, there's male nurses too, dude. You don't think male nurses coming in scrubs getting changed?
You got a good point. I'll check them out.
Oh man, but yeah, dude. 5:30. I was like, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of people here for 5:30. You guys are animals. I'm like, I've only been here for a couple days, but how are you?
Let's move on to the last topic of tonight. And because we're in the middle of getting canceled and
This is our last episode.
Some bad things.
52 episodes, just like a deck of cards, buddy.
It just ended in one night. Here we go. So Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announces diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Olympics. They join USA, UK, and Australia in the boycott. Athletes will still be able to compete. NHL does not want to send their players, and will be discussed today. I haven't heard anything about it. I'm sure maybe tomorrow, the next following day, might probably hear something about it. And then adding to this news too, Leonard did come out before all this even happened and said he will not play for Sweden.
I think for him it was more of a personal thing with COVID and stuff. He just wanted to stay home and socially distance.
So on Twitter, he came out and said it took a long time to talk.
NHLPA said I can't go after the stunt I pulled on Twitter this season.
Yeah, probably. Said, took a long time to make decision with my psychiatrist and family. My well-being has to come first, and being locked down and not knowing what happens if you test positive is too much of a risk for me. Sweden will have a great team, and Markstrom is a beast. Hope you understand. And yes, Markstrom is a beast, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah, we don't need Leonard.
We don't know what's going to happen right now. There's so many teams.
Dude,
and
diplomatic boycott is the dumbest thing in the world. Scheduling the Olympics to be in Beijing is the dumbest thing in the world.
Yep.
The Chinese government is fucked, and the shit they're pulling with Hong Kong and genocide and this fucking Olympic athlete that has gone missing is bullshit. Fuck China.
Yeah, China's not looking good, bud.
No. And I think it's such like, and I mean, I don't mean this in like a, like a swear word way. Pussyfooting around the issue is fucking bullshit of the USA, UK, Australia, and Canada to do this. A diplomatic boycott, but you're still sending athletes.
Athletes,
you're not boycotting anything.
You're not boycotting anything. You're letting them go there, but
You're
saying like, oh well,
I don't really understand. What does that mean? Like the government officials aren't going to go to China?
Right. Like human rights does not exist in China, by the way. There's a reason why. There's a reason why they're boycotting this shit. China is just. I'm all for this boycott. I don't think people should go. I think it should just, not happen.
I mean, I think it should be up. I mean, at the end of the day, it makes sense for, like, if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, like a diplomatic boycott in the sense of, like, these athletes have trained for the past 4 years to go to the Winter Olympics and do them in Beijing. And for us to just be like, no, we're not going to do it. But it's not like China wasn't pulling this shit 4 years ago.
No.
Like, maybe you should have said at the time, like, hey, Beijing, we're not fucking going there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we don't have the Olympics in Beijing.
Right.
Or I don't know what else. But, like, the athletes at the end of the day, in my opinion, should be like, now you get into a personal aspect of it. But
right.
If I were an athlete and I trained the last 4 years of my life, it'd be a very hard decision. But I'd be like, dude, fuck China.
I was going through when we were talking about this. I was thinking about World War II because they had the Olympics in Germany with Hitler and everything. And in my head, I'm just like, but information doesn't spread as fast as it does today. Like, we know everything is going on so fast. And the whole Jesse Owens thing when he won, man, was just a huge, powerful signal to Nazi Germany at the time, where everyone still, I don't think there was a boycott at all. They just still did it. But now that information does spread and people knows what's going on.
What's wild to me, too, is even Sochi Olympics. Like, there was do you remember the fiasco with the opening ceremonies when one of the 5 rings on the Olympic symbol didn't light up? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Do you know what happened?
No.
The guy that fucked up, and I don't know what happened, like if he was in charge of the lights or that specific ring or what, that it didn't go off, was found dead the next morning.
Whoa.
In Sochi. Yeah, the government doesn't give a fuck in Russia and China. They just kill you. Like, we don't care. We're done.
Putin, China, baby. Just,
wild, dude.
Nope.
Wild.
Putin doesn't deal with that shit.
I'm not going there, dude. I'm staying
North Korea,
in these
too.
borders. Yeah, North Korea don't give a shit. Honey Badger doesn't give a shit.
Honey Badger don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I think Putin doesn't give a shit. Honey Badger, don't want to fuck with him.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, fuck.
Oh, boy.
What an episode.
What an episode this has been. We have gone through some shit on this episode.
I feel like we've, like, not avoided controversial coming up to this, but, like,
at the same time
handled it, like, in a professional way and not really opinionated ourselves. But, like, I mean, we had no choice but to opinionate ourselves this week, I feel like.
This is our opinion,
I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to cancel me for it, cancel me for it. I don't know. I'll still be selling beer tomorrow.
Yeah.
Matt'll still be riding the train.
I still have a job. Yeah.
Toot toot.
Toot toot. Yeah, I don't know. These are again, this is like the fucking 8th in a row where we've had, I guess, a controversial / like hard topic to talk about. And in this episode, I feel like I definitely deserving for a to at least express my opinion, especially on National Predator's tweet. I think I had a solid opinion on that, where I think both of us have come out and in support of not only in support of Black players, but Indigenous, women's players. We constantly talk about them. We're constantly talking about how we want everyone in the hockey community to be open with everything, and we're all embracing. Fuck, I still can't think of the word I'm thinking of here, but we're all in this together. We're all one in a weird and. Fuck, I can't think of the word. It's going to hit me on top
Come on. We got to figure it out, dude. What are you trying to say here, huh? Diversity, fucking acceptance, inclusion.
There we go. Inclusion and acceptance.
Are you shitting me,
Here
dude?
we go.
You couldn't come up with those two words?
No, inclusion was it.
I fucking
We're
hate
all
you.
inclusion.
All inclusive.
Inclusive.
Jesus Christ,
Fucking
I can't stand you.
Fucking A.
I am not all inclusive because I fucking hate Matt.
I get that every day, by the way, for all the fans listening in. So
man,
you know
I'm just
what,
kidding, buddy. I include you.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But yeah, so Here we go.
I mean, it's just like it feels like you're allowed to express your opinion as long as it's like accepting of the norm. Like you need to be part of the majority to have your opinion out there now.
Right.
And like I feel like Matt and I on this Nashville subject are part of the minority that think like
oh no, we're part of the majority.
that think that it was okay for them to tweet it.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Go on like Instagram, go on their Instagram, their tweet. There is a majority of people that are all for the Nashville. But there is also a huge amount of people as well saying, Nashville, go fuck yourself. And
yeah, so then how do you know it's a majority? Just
if you go on
you just said there's a huge amount of people that say it's not okay.
There is a huge amount of people that say it's not okay,
But
but there's even a bigger majority that says, hey, we're with you, Nashville. I'm assuming by all the likes, there's like 3,000 likes on like each comment that says.
I think that's also just because he flamed some guy, and it's fucking hilarious. Because whenever you flame someone online, it's like so good, like it's great. But it's just weird, man. Like, let's take a shot.
Let's take a shot. I can't even think of words in this episode, and all right.
Inclusion and acceptance, Matthew.
Inclusion and acceptance. That's it. I'm gonna write that down so I
you
know
should
it next time.
Put that in your
I'm gonna have a fucking nightmare about that
in your thesaurus.
I'm gonna text you at 3 a.m. and be like, dude, I woke up sweating because inclusive randomly went through my head. So cheers. I have.
He's not gonna like this. This is gonna be good, boys.
I'm gonna hate this.
Ready for this?
Dark roasted.
You radio
espresso.
listeners are gonna get something too.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up. I have been smelling yours, by the way.
Yeah,
for the past,
right.
Like half hour.
When I poured it, I was like, "That's all I smell, and I don't want to take this."
He's got caramel. What?
Caramel Soko. We're still trying to get through all the shitty liquor in my basement, so I have put an embargo on Nips, a trade embargo. They're not trading their liquid into my mouth for another week or two. But next week we have one more episode for you guys. We're gonna drop on the 20th, and then we'll be taking a week off for Christmas. So we'll be back to record on New Year's. We still gotta figure out a date for that. I'm thinking the 30th, Thursday.
Maybe.
Because the 31st is Friday, which is New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
All right. Something like that. All right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bud. Yep.
Oh, can't wait for this. Ready? Do it. Don't yell. Don't yell.
Oh, my God.
Is it good?
Oh,
Did you tell them you had Smirnoff espresso?
my God, why would you make that?
This is probably the worst one.
Oh my God, dude, that is fucking awful. What is it, Reed? It's dark espresso?
Yeah, Smirnoff espresso. It's 100 proof, so it's 50%.
Oh my God.
This caramel is starting to taste like little ASMR for you guys. Starting to taste like Cocoa Krispies, the aftertaste.
That is fucking rancid. No, have I had worse? No.
I think so. I think when you bought those random whiskey ones, not like...
Yeah, those whiskey ones are bad.
What did you buy? What was the bad one? I forget.
There was like Sailor Jerry's.
Canadian.
Oh, there's also
bad.
Canadian.
Sailor Jerry was rum. Oh, there was another one. I can't remember. It was a shitty, cheap whiskey one.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this one's no good, though.
Oh.
Where's some root beer?
I sent a picture to Tommy, our friend Tommy.
Yeah, he's like, this is good. I'm like,
that's really
Matt has no idea what he's in for. This is terrible.
Oh, my God. That is rancid. Why, Smirnoff? Why would you make this?
You want to know why? So you can get fucked up, dude. 100 proof gets you banged up quick.
Yeah, that I've been doing Tito's and Cran over here. Yeah, I wouldn't be here for a little bit after this.
Yeah, we'll see. Might be taking a nap in the truck.
Hope your couch is open. All right, let's call it out. Yeah, this is probably our last episode. Post canceled on the Boston Herald tomorrow.
Bozo to bozo for real.
Bozo to bozos, just done.
52 episodes like a deck of cards, buddy. You calling us out or am I?
You can call us out.
Thanks everyone for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week.
Maybe. Peace.